Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, evening. Apparently, you weren't enjoying the song that I was enjoying just now. The Sound of Silence by Disturbed. It was a great song, and apparently, none of you heard it, but I was loving it. So I'm getting myself in the mood, and that's just good enough for me, right? I really wish you could have heard it, but I apologize. You did not hear it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Rock Your Life seminar. Oh, let me go back. My Rock Your Life experience seminar, my first seminar online because of all this COVID-19 stuff. We had this event scheduled at the Sheraton Gateway LAX in Los Angeles, and unfortunately, we were not allowed, as you all know, to put this on. So we're going online. So many things will go wrong in these next 3 days, just like the song that you did not hear. But I envision that 95% of it will go good. I've got everything organized. I've got my PowerPoint ready to go. Apparently, now you can hear me. Otherwise, my event planner, Tony Caruso, would be texting me saying, Craig, I can't hear a word you're saying. So I'm assuming you could all hear me, and otherwise, she would have told me by now. So this is going to be, it's today is from 4 to 6 Los Angeles time, Pacific Standard Time. Then tomorrow from 9 to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I guess that would be 12 to 8 on the East Coast. And same thing with Saturday, 9 to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And here are the times. I might as well just show you the time. So it's today from 4 to 6. We have, I'm going to teach from 4 to 5, and then Chris Harrison from The Bachelor is going to come on from 5 to 6. Fun stuff with Chris. Then tomorrow we have from 9 a.m., like I said, to 5 p.m. for the Pacific Standard Time, 12 noon to 8 o'clock for East Coast time. And Saturday, May 2nd, once again, all day, 9 to 5. Now, each session is an hour and 15 minutes. And then we have 45-minute breaks in between. So there's plenty of time to get up, stretch your legs, go get something to eat, and come back. I'm only doing an hour and 15-minute sessions. I usually do an hour and a half to 2 hours in my seminars, but it's because I'm so wild and crazy on stage and throwing things into the audience that I keep people awake for those hour and a half to 2 hour sessions. But I have no control over how to keep you awake here. So I'm just going to envision that you are awake, and I'm not talking to air, which I am right now talking to air, which is a very freaky thing, but I'm getting used to it more and more every single day that I do these Zoom calls. I've been on Zoom, oh my gosh, I am more busy now than I've ever been, because for years, I've only done live seminars where people would fly into Los Angeles and then come for 3 days and spend 3 to 5 days actually learning rockstar marketing. And then this was my launch for Rock Your Life. And unfortunately, the launch took a little bit of a curve in the road. And now my launch is an online launch. But we envision that the launch of Rock Your Life Live will be October 8th, 9th, and 10th in Los Angeles at the Sheraton Gateway LAX. But we'll talk more of that later. It says, like I said, this is Rock Your Life Experience. Discover your dream business and your dream life now is basically what this is. What is your dream business? What is your dream life? Discover it. And experiences are like first stage. What do you want to do in life? Who do you want to be? That's everything that we're going to do in the next 2.5 days. Then I have a Rock Your Life Celebration, where we celebrate our experiences. And then I have a bunch of other brands that are going on, but this is the launch of the new brand. Unfortunately, it's online, or fortunately, it was really interesting. When I first did this, and I thought, oh my gosh, all these people, I had 322 people registered a few months ago for this live event. And I'm thinking to myself, uh-oh, now I got to tell them that it's canceled. And they understand because I had no choice. But when I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, these people are going to be so mad. And it's amazing. 100% of the people across the board, 100% of the people was so happy that this was online, because everyone obviously is fearful of the disease. But more importantly, they save money on hotels, they save money on flights, they save money on expensive restaurants, and they basically get the same thing anyway. It's just, I feel it's a little different live. The energy is totally different, but I envision that this will be pretty close to as cool as can be. I have so many amazing people coming this weekend. So this is going to be a little different than my live version. In my live version, I will probably teach more stuff, actually teach, and have guest speakers. But this time, I actually am teaching a lot, but I'm actually going to have a bunch of people online helping, sharing their expertise, because I just believe that they bring a lot to the table. And no one wants to see me for an hour and 15 minutes straight, because they're like, oh God, get him off the screen. So I'm going to try to interrupt the pattern with a bunch of other people as well. So it's not just going to be me. Speaking of which, in about 50 minutes, Chris Harrison from The Bachelor will be joining us, and we will be sharing what is he doing these days now that they're not filming. No one's allowed to film, and what he's doing on Instagram, and some really, really cool things. And then we have an opportunity for probably a select few people out of the 890 people listening to this, or maybe I don't even know what the number is anymore, but a lot of people like signed up and then they don't exactly show up, you know what I mean? But anyway, that being said, we have an offer that I'm going to make with Chris later on today that is pretty extraordinary, but it's for a select few people, because not everyone, A, can afford it, and B, not everyone would need his audience. And I'll explain what that is later. All right. So this way this is going to go. This is my Rock Your Life Experience event. So the first session tomorrow morning will be on how do you rock your life. It'll be on all about life stuff, everything to do with your life. So it won't be any business stuff. It'll be pretty much everything to do with your life, living a dream life, balancing work and play, organizing is a big part of it, getting ready, what you're doing now that we're not allowed to do a lot of things and stuff like that. So that'll be the session tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock it starts. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, like right when you get up, LA, and noon for you guys, Russell Hitchcock, the lead singer of the band Air Supply, will be my guest tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So we're going to get into him first, then we're going to do a session on Rock Your Life. The next session is Rock Your Health. This is my Achilles heel, Rock Your Health. Now I'm a pretty healthy guy, but my stomach wouldn't agree with me. But I'm trying very, very hard. I'm really good at the other 3 pillars in life, but the health one, exercising, eating perfectly, not even perfectly, how about just eating right? This is where I wouldn't say I struggle, but is my weak area. So we have a couple of, I have a couple of things that I'm doing right now that I'll share, and then I'm going to bring on a couple of experts to help us in that arena. Rock Your Health. The third session tomorrow, Friday, will be Rock Your Wealth. Now, we all want wealth. What is wealth to you? We're going to show you how to make some money. I have Garrett Gunderson coming tomorrow. Garrett Gunderson is, he owns the Wealth Factory. He's a very, very, very well-known speaker on wealth, and he's going to share some of the things that we can do right now to get money from our federal government, from our state. Really, really great talk on how to do that, and some other speakers on and teaching how do you rock your wealth. Now wealth is, is different for other people. Some people want to be rich money wise, but wealth could also be freedom, happiness, and all that stuff as well. Wealth does not have to be money, but it's whatever you want it to be. However, in this session, we are going to talk about how to make money. And I always say this, like, there are some people that get offended by people that make a lot of money. But my thing is, the more money you make, the more you can give back to people. So why don't you be the person that makes a Google amount of money and then be that person that gives a lot of it back to help the world that we are living in today. So that's my thing. That's my whole thing. We'll talk about my Band Together Foundation a little bit later, but that's my whole thing. You know, I want to make as much money as possible so I can do more good in this world. Next one is Rock Your Legacy. So this is a big one for me right now. That's why we started Band Together Foundation. That's why I write books. What are we going to leave behind? Like, what do you want to leave behind when look, we're all going to die. My wife always says that. None of us are getting out of here alive. So some of us want to leave something behind so that we're remembered or made an impact on this world. And that's what that session tomorrow afternoon is about. And I just found out that my very dear friend in the Genius Network, he owns the Genius Network. His name is Joe Polish. He will be here tomorrow at 4 o'clock. If you don't know who Joe Polish is, well, first of all, you should. But if you don't know who Joe Polish is, he runs the Genius Network. The Genius Network is made up of very, 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 very successful people that are either speakers, coaches, small business owners, the gamut. It's $25,000 a year just to be in the program. And there's a lot of well-known speakers that I was in it for a few years and loved it. And Brendan Burchard's in it, Lisa Sasevich, Dave Asprey, Dan Sullivan, JJ Virgin. I mean, just like the top of the top people that are in this industry that we're in. So we're going to teach you how to rock your legacy, and that'll be the last session tomorrow, Friday. Then on Saturday morning, we start bright and early with Rock Your Business. Rock Your Business, and it's all about the business. So on Friday, the morning session was Rock Your Life, and then Saturday was Rock Your Business. How to start a business, how to make money in a business, everything to do with running a business. And I'm going to have some other, like I said, very successful people helping us with that session, as well as me teaching a few things on how to run a business, how to grow your business, how to generate leads, how to make sales, all that stuff. The next session after Rock Your Business, the second session tomorrow, second session tomorrow is Rock Your Marketing. This is what I've been doing for the last 14 years. I've had Rockstar Marketing boot camps for so long, and I teach marketing. Well, I've condensed my 3 and 5 day events into 1 hour and 15 minutes. So everything to do with marketing will be in this session. It's basically outside the box marketing. All it is a bunch of outside the box ideas to help you generate leads, help you grow your business, help you get the word out that you exist, websites, how to get websites effective, and all that stuff. So all this marketing stuff will be the second session on Saturday. The third session on Saturday is Rock Your Motivation. How do we stay motivated, especially right now during these interesting times? How do we wake up every day and not eat everything that's in the refrigerator? Craig, I mean, I wake up every day and there's like not much to do. I mean, I'm so busy right now, and I'll explain that in a minute. But you are walking around going, haven't had food in 8 minutes. What's in the fridge? And how do you stay motivated to stay healthy? How do you stay motivated to keep your business going? How do you stay motivated when you can't really interact with people live? I know we're doing a ton of Zoom calls, but it's all about staying motivated. So I have a couple of people talking about that, but we are blessed. You are blessed. We are blessed. I am blessed. I am honored to have Mr. Les Brown coming up on Saturday afternoon during the third session between, I think it's 2 o'clock to 3:15 Pacific Standard Time. Les Brown will be here to motivate our socks off, to share with us how do we stay motivated during these challenging times, and for that matter, how do we stay motivated all the time, not just now. How do we always stay motivated? And then last but not least is our last session, Rock Your Inspiration. Not only how do you stay motivated, how do you stay inspired? And I have one of the best speakers in the world, if not the best speaker in the world, to inspire us. His name is Glenn Morshower. He's actually an actor. He's been in 4.8 million films or something like that, and television shows. But he's in everything. He's the guy that you totally would know. If you don't know Glenn, there's probably a bunch of people that on this that don't know Glenn because it's a new list that I'm kind of forming. There are a bunch of people that do know him, but he will end our boot camp, our Rock Your Life experience on an inspiring note. And just listening to Glenn just gets you inspired. Just actually watching Glenn just gets you inspired. Just seeing his smiling face just gets you inspired. And he has a show with Ken Walls I think it's Sunday night. And so he'll be here to inspire us as well. But he's funny, he's motivational, inspirational, and he's very great at sharing everything that we're thinking. He shares, and it just helps us make sense of everything that we're thinking. That's a kind of good way to put it. I acted with Glenn Morshower in a play in 1926. It was called The Last Meeting of the Knights of the White Magnolia. It's a long title. And I think he beat me up in the play or something like that. He beat the hell out of me twice or something like that. Anyway, he was the big guy, the big boss guy, and I was this peon something guy in the play. So that's how we met, and he's been a dear, dear friend ever since. And he lives in Dallas and LA, most of the time now in Dallas. And see you soon, Glenn. All right, so that's the story. That's what we're going to be talking about over the next 2 days. I want to just talk about this now before we really get started. The new opportunities in this world. Now, I understand people are hurting right now. And I understand it's horrible what is happening in this world right now. People are dying. People are, we can't interact with our loved ones. We have parades out in the street waving to our grandparents, stuff like that. It's horrible what is going on. Let me emphasize, it's awful, horrible what is going on right now. I don't like it at all. However, this has been an absolute blessing for me, my family, and our businesses. Now, are we raking in money right now? Nope. None of us are. None of us are making a lot of money right now. But what we are doing is building the foundation so that when this is over, oh my gosh, our businesses, our lives are going to be so much more enriched and so much better. For years, 14 years, I've been a speaker, and the other 300 years before that, I toured with like Guns N' Roses and Air Supply, and we'll talk more about that later. But and I had other jobs. But now I've for 14 years, all I've done is speak on stages, and that was my marketing. And I'm pretty good on stage, so I was able to offer a package where they would sign up for a package and go to my live events in Los Angeles, and it worked really great for 14 years. And I love live. I don't like watching a theatrical play on Broadway. And then on Broadway is amazing. The live version is amazing. But then if you were to film it and watch that same exact play, it would be horrible because it just doesn't translate from stage to film. It just doesn't. And that's the way I felt when I did my live seminars. I only wanted people to see me live. So this thing on Zoom and all this stuff, I've been avoiding for 14 years. I've been saying, hell no, I'm not going to be that guy. I am not doing that. I don't even like it. I don't like looking at things online. Don't like talking to people online. I never even FaceTimes people. I just call them on the phone. I stayed away from it, as far away from it as possible until this happened. And then I said, wow, I never knew this would happen in our lives. We all never assumed something like this would happen, but it did. And so now, like I said, I treat it as a blessing because it has made me do what I'm doing now. So I signed up for Zoom, which you're all on right now. I signed up for a program called Kartra, Kartra, and it's an e-commerce site where you could build websites, you could build lead pages. There's tons of them out there. That was the one that I chose with the help of my dear friend John Limbacher, who's an expert at SEO and Kartra type of things. So he helped me a lot through this. So I embraced Kartra, I embraced Zoom, and for the last month and a half, I have been learning, watching tutorials, and learning how to do this. And that being said, I've been doing this for 5.5 weeks. I already screwed up the opening because I had a song playing in my PowerPoint, and I know there's a way to play sound in my PowerPoint on Zoom, but for some reason it did not do that. And I'm okay with that. You just witnessed the first mistake I've ever made in my life, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay that I just did that in front of all the people. I'll go share with my wife that I finally, honey, made a mistake. It took 58 years, but I finally made a mistake. So anyway, but I embrace that. I'm still learning this. Zoom, Kartra, all these things. But I got to tell you, I'm holding a gigantic seminar there's 890 people registered. I don't know how many are online right now, but it's over 300, I think, but whatever. They're all going to get a recording of this. So it doesn't matter if you listen live, but I learned so much. I am creating in my mastermind. I have about 200 people in my Rock Your Life Mastermind program. And I have learned to do these online courses. So you're all going to have an opportunity to join my mastermind tomorrow or Saturday if you want to. It's a very low investment mastermind. But I teach now online master classes. And we've already done like copywriting. So I'll teach people about copywriting because that was my area of expertise when I first started in this advertising world. I was a copywriter. So I teach people now in my mastermind online on Zoom, showing them exactly what I'm talking about using these annotations and things. My mastermind knows that I love writing with these things on the screen and showing them exactly where this goes. That should go there, this should go there, and why that looks bad graphically, even though it's just copy and just words, and all these things. So that was one. We did one on Zoom. How do you use Zoom? We did one on Kartra. How do you set up an e-commerce program? Long copy sales letters. What goes in a long copy sales letter? Anyway, the list goes on and on and on and on. And I'm doing these master classes as if I'm an expert at giving master classes, and I'm not. But I just learned how to do it, and all of a sudden, everyone is just loving these master classes because they don't have to leave their house. They don't have to spend money on flights. And so now I could get people signing up for my mastermind, which I already have, all over the United States and even all over the world now. So not everyone has to fly in all the time. I will still have my live events and I will still have my live mastermind meetings. But on top of all those things that I've given in the past, now they're going to get all this online stuff during the times that we're not live throughout the year. So now is the time to be in my mastermind. But more importantly, now I took this opportunity of dead time and I built the foundation of a brand new online business, which is also a speaking business. And that is what we're going to talk about this weekend. And that is what you must do. And it's not too late. We still got 2 more months, I think, of at least, not 100% being out. And I think it's going to be even more than that, where we have to wear masks and do. It's not going to be perfect for a little while, but it is going to start opening up soon, I hear. But you still have time. You still have plenty of time to build all these things that you've wanted to do for a long time. And now I'm going to share with you some of the things that you can do immediately right now. So those are the things I'm doing. New Rockstar opportunities are out there. Take advantage of them. Go for it. It's the people. Here's the thing. It's the people that are living in fear right now, which I understand. I get it. It's scary. If you're over 60, I'm 2 years from 60. If you're over 60, they say, don't go outside now. Don't go. Oh my God, are you kidding me? So yeah, we have the fear. But if you can get over that fear and know that, in the end, everything's going to be okay, and you take advantage of while everybody else is living in fear, you're going to do one better than everybody and take this time to one up everybody else that's living in fear. And you're just going to take risks now and go for it. Not crazy risks, but just go for it. We have one life. This is your opportunity. I mean, look what just happened to Tesla stock. I don't know the date. I think it was March 23rd-ish. Tesla stock was $350 a share. And I said, oh my gosh, in hindsight, if I would have taken all of our money and just put it in Tesla that day, we would have more than doubled our money, because about a month later, it is now, I think, $850 again. It went from $350 to $850. And you look at that going, oh my gosh, the stock market went from $18,000 back up to $24,000, almost $25,000. These are opportunities, and there's still opportunities out there. So that's why we can't live in fear. We just got to just say to ourselves, now is the time. This is a unique opportunity. While it's horrible, a unique opportunity to take advantage of most of the people that are living in fear. Not take advantage of them, you know what I mean? Take advantage of the ones that aren't doing it, but you are doing it. You're going to do it. Like I said, I've been rethinking everything, and I just talked about that. And that was a little note to remind me to say I'm rethinking everything. So there, I'm rethinking everything. So back to the Rockstar opportunities. So anyway, so those are that's my whole thought on new Rockstar opportunities. Every session I'm going to try to have, I think I have every session, an inspirational quote to get us started. So this is the inspirational quote for this session. The people who make the most of this time will lead when the world goes forward. And I think I came up with that. It was a variation of somebody else's, so by me. So the people who will make the most of this time will lead when the world goes forward. When this is all over, whoever's made the most of this downtime, when everyone else was living in fear, those are the people that are going to benefit the most when this all does get better. And it is going to get better. At the same time, every session, I'm going to have a couple of fun little sides to just get us in the mood, because I love to hear laughter. Unfortunately, I'm not going to hear any laughter, so I'll just laugh myself because I think these are funny. But these are just a couple of little things. Every session I'll start with an inspirational quote and something fun. So here's a little comic. I'll just let you read it. That's funny. I think that's hysterical. Get it? The socks, if we're one sock, then anyway, get it. Next one. Our cleaning lady just called and told us she will be working from home and she will send us instructions on what to do. Isn't that what's happening right now? She's gonna share, and that's what we're doing right now. We're mopping floors, and we have a dog. Wrong time to get a golden retriever that's 100 pounds. Wrong time. Just saying. Floors are dirty every day. And the last one is along the lines of cleaning. I have this outside the box housekeeping tip for everybody. This is a great tip you could use now. It's a great tip that you could use when just anytime if your house is a little messy, which some of your houses might be a little messy, but this is my outside the box marketing housekeeping tip. Today's housekeeping tip: always keep several get well cards on the mantle. That way, if unexpected guests arrive, they'll think you've been sick and unable to clean. So for the people that their house is a mess, all you got to do is have get well cards out there. They'll just assume, oh, the poor darling's been sick. That's why the house is a mess. So just once again, I love to give, and this is just my give back to you if your house is messy, I guess. All right, really quick, a little bit about me, because a lot of you have no idea who I am because you've gotten emails from people to sign up, and some of you have no idea, some of you have an idea who I am. So now is the time to go get a glass of wine for about 5 minutes and then come back, because I'm just going to talk about who I am. So if you know who I am, go get a glass of wine, come back. Is it wine time yet? Yeah, New York, 7:30, you're good. LA, 4:30, just as good. Go get a glass of wine. All right, a little bit about me. This is my sister and I back in 1926. The reason why I'm so messed up is because my parents made me dress in plaid jackets. Need I say more? And that led to this. This was me in college. Somehow I thought these pants looked good at the time. And I don't know if you can see, but there are about 10 paper clips hanging from my ear. I had one paper clip and then just strung about 10 paper clips because I couldn't afford earrings and I had my ears pierced in college. So I have that, and apparently I can only afford one wristband. I don't know if that was the look, but that was me back in college. My website is http://www.craigduswalt.com. If you don't get it now, you'll get it later. I am a huge Kansas City Chief fan, and I would like to take this moment to ask you all, I know you can't respond, but do you all know who won the Super Bowl this past year? Right, yes, it was the Kansas City Chiefs. I have been waiting for this moment for 50 years. I became a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs after they won the first Super Bowl 50 years ago. So I didn't get that pleasure. But when I was 11 years old, I became a huge fan. I am the #1 fan in the world. I am obsessed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Just ask my family. It's actually sad, and it's been sad for a long time. But this past year was I was actually with Chris Harrison when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and we were at a party, and I got to celebrate basically by myself because there were no other Chief fans there. But I was going to fly out to the game, but the tickets were like $14 million a ticket because they all wanted to see Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Chiefs. So wrong time wrong time. Patrick Mahomes' agent, by the way, is Lee Steinberg. Lee Steinberg, the movie Jerry Maguire was based on. Lee Steinberg is a very good friend of mine and has spoken on my stage a couple of times at my Rockstar Marketing boot camps. And we will have him again on something. He's kind of busy right now because of the NFL draft, and he's representing a bunch of people. But Patrick Mahomes' agent is Lee Steinberg, and he's like the new NFL face of the NFL. Most of you don't care. I'm just rambling now. All right, Chiefs, big Chief fan. I used to tour with the band Air Supply back in 1983. I graduated college, got a job with Air Supply. I'm going to talk with Russell tomorrow, but I'll share the Air Supply story right now really, really fast. I was working in a theater in Westbury, New York, Westbury Music Fair, Westbury, Long Island, New York. And then right out of college, 2 weeks out of college, I was a runner backstage, and I'm running around getting drinks for bands. Rodney Dangerfield came in. The Lennon Sisters came in. I was in the play The Sound of Music, came in for about a few-day weekend run or something. So anyway, that's what played at the Westbury Music Fair. And about 2 or 3 weeks into the job that I had there right out of college, Air Supply came in and did a show on Friday and Saturday night. Friday, I worked the show as a runner backstage. I met the band, got them drinks, got them towels, made sure everything was great backstage. That's all I did. On Saturday, I wasn't scheduled to work again, but my mother, who's on this phone, on this webinar right now, hi, Mommy. My mother wanted to see Air Supply, and she was a big fan. And so I went to the concert with her and a friend and myself. So I went back the second night, and during the concert, my mother's saying, hey, you work here. Get me backstage. I want to meet the band. And I'm like, oh, great. Now my mother's a groupie. So I take my mother backstage with her friend, and she meets the band. I don't even know these guys. I just met them yesterday. But this big guy walks over to me, big 6'5", 300-pound guy, walks up to me and says, hey, you were the guy that was working here last night? And I'm like, yep, that was me. And he goes, how much do you make a week here? And I'm thinking to myself, it's none of your business. But he was huge, so I figured I'd answer the question. And I said about $150 a week. And he said, how would you like to quadruple that? And so many things went through my mind what this man wanted me to do to him for $600 a week. But I figured, you know what, I'm in. $600 a week, I'll do it. And he said, all joking aside, the band saw you working last night. They loved your positive attitude and your energy. They want to know if you want to go on the road. You leave tomorrow. It's the short version of a very long story. So I went to JFK Airport, took a Learjet to Wallingford, Connecticut, and met Air Supply there, and I toured with them for 7 years, simply because this is a marketing thing I teach all the time, always doing my best just in case someone is watching. I always do my best just in case someone is watching, because you never know. And this is true with online stuff as well. Online, we have to be careful what we're doing online because people are watching. I tell that to my kids all the time. Colleges are watching, jobs are watching. So be careful what you put online. That's my Air Supply story. This is me and the band. I'm the second one from the right in the red pleather pants, and that's Air Supply and me. And it was the greatest 6 years of my life. And Russell, the lead singer in the yellow shirt in the middle, will be with us tomorrow morning. Such a dear friend of mine. This many years later, I toured from like 83 to 88, and what is it? 32 years later, we're still very dear friends. Is that right? 32? Oh my Lord. And here's Russell singing now, and he'll be here, like I said, tomorrow morning. And then I toured with Guns N' Roses. After Air Supply, the security guard for Air Supply, Doug Goldstein, became the manager of Guns N' Roses. So I started touring with Guns N' Roses as Axl Rose's personal assistant. I have stories, great time on the road. This is Guns N' Roses, just in case you don't know who they are. Axl's the guy in the middle, Slash on the left, Duff McKagan far left. has spoken on at my seminars numerous times. All very, very dear friends of mine to this day, and that was crazy. Just 4 years or 3.5 years, whatever it was, of crazy. One of the best things we did was I was at the Freddie Mercury tribute. I'm a huge Queen fan, huge Queen fan. And I was at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness at Wembley Stadium in 1992. One of the greatest days of my life. And I haven't told this story in a long time, and I figured I'd bring it back out. But at that concert, Guns N' Roses played and all the stars played. And there were no egos. Everyone hung out with everyone. Led Zeppelin was there. Spinal Tap was there. David Bowie, Annie Lennox, Liz Taylor, and Liza Minnelli, George Michael, Elton John, you name it, they were there. Just so many. The Who, Roger Daltrey, Extreme. They sang that song More Than Words. Just tons of people. All the stars were there. And like I said, the egos were checked out, and the band Queen without Freddie, obviously. And so all these bands and singers sang with the Queen bands, and it was an amazing day. It was an amazing day. This was Elton John and Axl singing Bohemian Rhapsody. One of the highlights of the evening was just amazing, and just a very, very special night. So after the concert was over, we all hung backstage for a very long time, and then we all went to a bar. A bunch of people from the concert, a bunch of the celebrities went to a bar, and I'm sitting at a table with Axl Rose, Liza Minnelli, George Michael, Elton John, I think, Liz Taylor, just like, and we were interacting. Other people would come visit, but at that table, at some point during the evening, those people were at my table, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, "How did I get here? How did I get here?" And it was simply because I always do my best, just in case someone is watching. So what happened was, though, that night we were when you're touring with bands, you're not supposed to take pictures, because I'm like with the band, and so Axl, well, who knows who, management doesn't want us taking pictures as fans of other bands. So these years I met Bono from U2. I mean, we were good friends with U2, all these famous bands, and I never took pictures of me and them because we just didn't do that. And it was sad, but this was before iPhones. But this night, this Freddie Mercury concert, we were all allowed to take pictures. So I had a camera and I took pictures of me and everybody. And at the end of the night, Axl was like, "All right, let's go, let's get out of here." And when Axl wants to go, we kind of like rush out of there because it's mayhem when whenever we're moving, it's mayhem with a rock star like Axl Rose. So I grabbed my leather jacket really fast from the back of a chair, and we run outside into the limo and we go home. Back to the hotel. I get to the hotel and I look inside my pocket of my leather jacket, and my phone is gone. And all the rolls of film, if you remember, we used to take rolls of film instead of digital. All my rolls of film were gone. They all fell out of the pocket. I went back about an hour and a half later, looked at the thing, and it was all gone. All these great pictures of this one day are gone. So if anyone was in a London bar on April 20th, 1992, and found a camera and a bunch of rolls, and you had them of film, and you had them developed, and you saw all these famous people and this guy, that was me. I would love those back. So, but what I wanted to do, I recreated the evening for you. So here is me and Liz, and here is me and Liza, and here is me and George Michael. Okay, so there you have it. So there, that proves that I met them. I photoshopped these. I put this on my website. Everyone's like, "Were you the bodyguard for Liz Taylor?" I'm like, "No, that's Photoshop." Pretty funny. All right, so Rock Your Life Experience. All right, a couple of people. Now, this is going to be the hard part. This is going to be the hard part. So I have a couple of people that I just want to share. They're going to share like 2 minutes each. I have Susie Pruden, Melody Kima Harper, and Debbie Morgan. So what I'm going to do, this is the hard part. I'm going to not share my screen right now. And then somehow, miraculously, Susie Pruden is going to go first, is going to somehow appear on this screen. Now, Susie, first of all, I'm going to ask, are you there?
I am here.
Oh, there you are. I think I'm going to see you.
I've been here, but I don't know how to get the screen to show me.
Okay, wait, I think I might be able to help. I might be able to. Susie Pruden. I'm gonna try to. Oh, not. Oh, wait. Susie.
Just press start video, Craig.
I started video, but what about Susie?
That's all she has to do.
Yeah, just hit start video.
It says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Ah. Well, let me just see if I unstopped it. This worked yesterday. Change role to chat, make host. I'm gonna just make you the host for a second.
Uh-oh.
Craig, you can also click in the upper right-hand corner and
Yeah.
press pin video onto Susie.
The upper right-hand corner, Craig, of Susie's square.
Yeah.
Should I click that?
It's a blue 3 dots, and then it'll say pin video.
Susie, you're the host now. You have to make me the host.
Well, I still am not on the, I'm the host?
Yeah, I made you the host by mistake. Now I'm screwed.
Wait a second, let's see if I can do, oh, I'm there.
Okay.
Okay, but I don't know how to do what you just asked me to do, and I'm happy to do it if you'll just
Okay,
give me some
so
directions.
above the screen, down the screen, you're gonna see participants.
I do.
Okay, click on that.
Okay,
And then you're gonna see panelists and attendees.
yep.
So under panelists, you see Craig Duswalt.
I know you've got to be there someplace.
Yeah, I'm probably the first one.
No, you're set. You're oh here. Okay, so there you are. So you want me to
So
click on you?
more, click on more,
Okay.
and then make me the host.
All right, you're the host.
Oh, there you go. All right, so now we saw Susie for a second. Stop video. So Susie, you should be able to, I see you. There you are.
I'm here,
Great.
and I have a new background.
I love your background. I'm so hot right now because I was like, oh
Well,
shit.
sure. So I want to talk to you all about books because you all need one, and you need one, as Craig says, for a business card, but you also need one for a business builder. And it's very, very important to use your book. Yes, you can do it as a business card, but you need to do it as a business builder. You get to be positioned as an expert in your field when you have a book. You get to, if I was talking to Christine Blasdell the other day, and she said when people submit ideas to her and they're similar ideas, she always chooses the one who has a book to be on her podcast. It's the same thing with television. It's the same thing with radio. It's the same thing with, you can use your book to build your presence everywhere. And right now you can be reading your books online to people. You can have them come online and read them a chapter or buy your book online. There's so many things you can do with a book, but you need to have a book. And that's the best thing you can do for your business, for your presence, for your positioning. And every time you get someplace, you always take your book, you always hold it up. This is Write Your Book in a Day, and just let people know to write a book. And I have a gift for you. It's 4 hypnosis processes to help you write a book, a bestseller, and 4 hypnosis processes to increase your wealth. The only thing that I ask you to do is please don't listen to them in the car. But that's because I've done that. And yeah, you'll drive, but I went 40 miles out of my way listening to one of my own processes. So
I hate when that happens.
I know, it's so ridiculous. So please, 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 whether you write a book with me, ittybittypublishing.com, or you write a book with Karen, or you write a book with Melody, write a book, because it's going to take you to the next level. I'm going to put my gift in the chat. So just go.
Just so everybody knows, you're all I'm gonna email you a Microsoft Word document with everybody's link in it. Every one of my sponsors is giving a free gift of some sort. So you're all gonna get an email. So that was Susie Pruden. So if you if you want to get this thing, this hypnosis thing, so you drive 40 miles out of your way, then you do that.
Don't listen in your car. But it really makes a difference. And Greg Reed, who wrote 3 Feet from Gold, said he listened to my wealth processes, increased his income by 3 times in 1 month listening to my processes. They make a difference. Please get my gift and listen to the processes, write a best-selling book, and it'll make a difference in your business.
Awesome. Thank you, Susie Pruden,
Thank you.
our stage and screen. Melody Keemer Harper, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, now can you hit video?
Unable to start video. You need to go ahead and let me open it.
Okay. Change role, forbid me, put on home. I don't know how we did that.
Says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh, I haven't stopped anything, but
Craig, go to participants
yeah,
and jump over to Melody.
yeah,
You will see that her camera is blocked and you unlock it.
yeah. I'm trying to do that, but it won't let me. It says more, and then chat, make host, change role to attendee, forbid record, rename, put on hold, and remove, which is strange. But let's see.
And then Susie, I think, can go ahead and block her own video.
I can do that.
This was so much easier yesterday.
Do you still have Susie as a host?
No, I don't.
No.
No. All right, Melody, just start talking your pictures up there so we see your picture, and then we'll deal with that another time.
Oh, okay. That's different. I get to look at myself. That's wonderful. But I can still see you up in the little box, so that's good too.
Yeah.
Well, as you were saying, I'm Melody Keemer Harper, and I am the creator and founder of Ignite Your Speaking Power and the Speaker's Money Train System for Success. And like Susie is saying too, a book is so important. You need to get out there. But in order to get that book out there, you want to make a difference with your speaking. Speaking is the #1 way to make a difference in your business and get that visibility. And if you're not speaking right now, you're missing the boat. And this is a perfect opportunity, like Craig was saying. I love it because you can get out there and get on so many different stages virtually. And that's what I help people get out there to do. So I have a program that I'm putting out there that I would love to invite you to attend. It's a training that'll help you, my Speaker's Money Train, to get you on the right track, help you get visibility so that you stand out, not just sitting back there and letting people come find you, but you need to be out there so people can see who you are. And a lot of people are in overwhelm. I know I was, and you probably are too. And if you're in overwhelm, you need to get out of that, get unstuck, and get your message out. And I'll tell you, I have 3 different things that are going to make a difference, telling you the challenges, and that's going to be tomorrow when I speak, telling you about the challenges that'll make a difference for you to get out there and speak. So go to my my website. Now, I'm glad you're putting the link out there because it's a long one, Craig. I need
But once again, I'm not going to. All right, hit your video. I think I just solved the problem. Hit your video for a second. I want to see something.
Look at you.
There you go.
Hi,
I
everyone.
I clicked another button that I thought was clicked. Anyway, so yeah, but what I'm going to do, I know the link is long, Melody, so
Yeah.
I'm going to share this with the whole group. They'll get it.
Okay. And it's just, you know, I'm glad you're going to do it, but I can just tell it real fast too. It's melodykh.kartra.com/page/DFJ35. I need to learn. And Lisa Gold was helping me condense it. So we'll get that down next time.
I
But
love it.
anyway, yeah, I love it. So, you know, the speaking is the #1 way. And I remember Jerry Seinfeld famously saying, people would rather be in the coffin than saying the eulogy at, you know, at a funeral. And it's so true. So you need to be out there speaking, getting out of the overwhelm, but you need to know what your clarity is on your speaking. And that's what I'm great at. You'll find that in my Speaker's Money Train. And I'm ready to help you get on your track.
Bam.
Thank you.
Speaker Money Train. Love that. I want to get on the money train.
Yeah, it's a blueprint. It's a great system for success.
Good for you. Thank you, Melody. And last but not least, Debbie Morgan. Are you there, Debbie Morgan?
I am here.
Now you got to click on video, and this is going to work.
Ta-da!
There we are.
There we are.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, everybody. I found that link. Go ahead, Debbie.
Okay. So one of the #1 questions I get when people come to the office is they say, what am I? And not in a woo-woo kind of way, but they don't understand whether they're an independent contractor or an employee. They're real confused on that. And so, but you need to know the difference because it depends on how you get paid. I had somebody come in a couple weeks ago when we could have people come in, and he wanted to know, am I going to owe money? Just wanted a heads up. And I said, I think you are. You're going to owe quite a bit. And he said, why? So he had a bunch of W-2s and he had a few 1099s that were really big numbers. I said, because you have 1099 that shows that you're an independent contractor. And he goes, no, that company's wrong. This company's wrong. I'm an employee. I'm supposed to be an employee. I said, well, do you look at your paycheck stuff? And he's like, I don't know what you mean. So I didn't realize that employees, you have taxes withheld, Social Security and Medicare taxes. Or an independent contractor, you don't. So that was a big learning lesson for him. So I always say you need to really know which one you are for two main reasons. The first is that you don't want to be surprised. And the second one is they're taxed very, very different. The other thing is, especially now, if you're a 1099, you have different write-offs, different benefits than you do as an independent, as an employee. They're very, very different, especially now with all the things going on with the COVID, the unemployment benefits, and the things that the various loans. So you really need to know which one you are. So if you want more information, feel free. I have a free website, webinar things on there, and it's at DeborahMorganandCompany.com, DeborAH Morganandcompany.com. There's your tip.
Thank you, Debbie Morgan. That was so good. All right, now we got this going. So Debbie is my accountant. There were some questions in the thing, like what does she do? She is my accountant. She's a CPA. She does our taxes. She does a lot of bookkeeping stuff for us and a lot of other stuff as well. But she's amazing, and she's located in Southern California, and that's what she does. So Susie Pruden, Itty Bitty Books, Melody Kima Harper, the guru on speaking and igniting your speaking business. And then Debbie Morgan is a CPA, and she also does lunch and learns. But I will send everybody, once again, everybody's link to these free offers. I got everybody's link, and you're all going to get all these free offers. All right, I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. So that we're going to do those interactive thing with a couple of sponsors. So these were people that were sponsoring my event. They had exhibitor tables for the live event, but since the live event didn't happen, I gave them time here to just at least show you guys who they are, what they do, and stuff like that. And like I said, this is going to be, this is recording, and the recording will be available to everybody who registered for the event. So even if you can't see it live, you're gonna see these recordings, and you will get the links to the people. So you're gonna get a ton of free offers. And isn't that what life is all about, free offers? Okay, going back to sharing the screen. Hold on, I gotta share the screen first. Okay. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna share the screen. Yep, there it is. I'm gonna share the screen. Here I go. Sharing the screen. All right, so we just did the sponsors. Next thing is 10 principles to transform your life. 10 principles to transform your life. These are things that I live by. These are my principles. These are what we as a family do. Now, before I share this, I'm gonna just share a little thing about never judge a book by its cover. There's a band that you all know in my mastermind called Slipknot. If you don't know Slipknot, you don't have to know Slipknot for this story, but Slipknot is a crazy band. They're very, very high energy, very heavy metal. I toured with Guns N' Roses, they were heavy metal, but Slipknot is heavy metal on steroids. And so my kids all love this band Slipknot. And to tell you the truth, their verses are hardcore, but their choruses are very melodic. But so they really got into Slipknot. They're playing it in the house. And one day they showed us who Slipknot was. And this, my dear friends, is Slipknot. That is the band that my dear loving children just love to death. And my wife and I are like, okay, kill us now. We're done. I'm just like, it's over. I tried to be a good parent. I thought I did everything right. And then somehow they think that this is a band. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the horror of it all. So we judged harshly, even though some of their music was harsh. Don't get me wrong, it's harsh. But some of it is great. Like, and I'm like, but look at them. Look at them. I'm not, oh yeah, I might be pounding the desk. I saw someone just said you're pounding the desk. I do that a lot. I'm so sorry because I'm all over the place. So I'll try to not do that anymore. I'll keep my hands behind my back. So anyway, so this is the band Slipknot. So my wife and I are like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? What do we do? Freedom of expression. We love that. We're all about freedom and all that stuff. No censorship. We love that. Oh my gosh, what do we do? What do we do? So my wife, my kids want to go to see Slipknot, not in concert, but in a setting where it's called oh my gosh, it's a store they set up. I forget what it's called. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, it's some sort of store where they just take over a store and then they sell their stuff. They sell their swag, all their merchandise. And it was on Melrose Boulevard in Los Angeles. So my kids want to go and they can drive, but my wife is like, I'm going with you. I don't know who these people are. So my wife is in line. She's the only blonde mother in line. Everyone else is gothic looking. I'm exaggerating a little just for the effect of the story, but everyone is like not her. And so they were like the first in line. They were ninth in line because my kids belong to their fan club. So anyway, my wife and my kids go inside and they meet the band. Well, the band does not have their masks on. And my wife was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I judged you guys because my wife said that they were the 9 sweetest people I've ever met in my life. I know some people at a country club that we used to belong to that are bigger assholes than these people. I'm kidding. Once again, affected the story. But the whole thing, the whole idea is there are people out there, regular people, that aren't as nice as these guys. So this is the lead singer with my 2 kids. The guy in the middle is Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot, with my 2 sons, Hayden and Ryan. And this is my wife and the lead singer of Slipknot. The band, you would never think that this loving, sweet man was, and he was so nice. My wife was like, I've changed. My whole thing has changed. I get it. Wow. And now we love them. And please don't judge us for loving that. But we do. And we went to a concert and their concerts are amazing. Very, very high energy. So anyway, don't judge a book by its cover. You know, we all think like what we think we know, and you'd be surprised sometimes. Really, really quick. These are my 10 principles, and then we're going to bring on Chris Harrison. 10 principles to transform your life. Number 1, I call it surrender. I have faith, but just to let go. Sometimes the more we push, the more we want, the more we push it away. Just let go. Just surrender and just let happen. You got to still do the work, but just let everything go. Let the stress go. Let everything go and just be chill, and things will come to you. Just let it go. Surrender. I believe in God, so I surrender to God, and I just say, you know, I believe in you. I believe everything happens for a reason, and I'm okay. So just whatever you believe in, but the idea is to let it go. Stop pushing, because as soon as you push to get something, you're pushing it away also. Number 2, have a plan. You must have a plan to succeed in life. So we have an exact plan. We write down our goals. We do all that stuff. We have laid out a plan. It's a 1-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan. We have all these goals that we have laid out, so we know exactly what we want. So if someone comes to us and says, hey, do you want a partner to do this? I know exactly yes or no, because I know whether it fits in the plan or whether it does not. Number 3, enjoy the process. We all want the end game. We all want to be the professional football player. We all want to be the rock star on stage. But to get there, it's years and years of hard work. And if you're not enjoying the hard work of running a business, setting it up, building the foundation, running blogs, doing videos, all that stuff, just to get 500 people to come to a seminar, just to sell 1 million items of something, then you're not going to be successful because you're going to hate it. And how many people hate their jobs and hate going to work? Oh, I pray that never happens to me. Number 4, be authentic, be honest, be true. Everyone that I have on this seminar, this weekend, this event, I know personally. I have vetted everyone, because in this industry, you're meeting people that are really good on stage, and then you meet them backstage. Oh my gosh, totally different people. The people that I associate myself with now are exactly what you see on screen is exactly who they are. And that's what makes people successful. Please don't be something one way to people and show them something completely different. Number 5, stay accountable. It's always good to have an accountability partner. My wife and I are our own accountability partners. We each have a separate business, and we each say, hey, did you do this? Are we doing this? Stay accountable. In my mastermind, we have like about 200 people in the mastermind. We hold each other accountable a lot. I try not to call them on it all the time, because sometimes, you know, there's things that happen, you know, but sometimes I'm a little like, hey, did you do this? You know, you said you were doing this. I tell people to put deadlines on everything, and then I call them on it. Hey, did you do it? Number 6, get a mentor. I've had a mentor. Tiger Woods has a mentor for golf. Michael Jordan had a mentor for basketball. You need a mentor. You need some sort of person that you can look up to get advice from. Needless to say, that's a no-brainer. You know, that's easy. Just get a mentor. Number 7, act as if. We had this thing when I was touring with Guns N' Roses. We learned this. If you ever wanted to get backstage somewhere, all you have to do is just act as if you belong there. Like, don't, as you're walking backstage past the security guard, even if you don't have a pass, if you walk with a purpose and you're walking like head down or on your phone or looking ahead as if you see somebody, oh, Jim, how you doing? Just walk right past the security guard. They don't stop you 90% of the time. So I use that in life as well. Act as if you are the success that you want to be. You have to act the way that you portray yourself, that you want yourself to be in 5 or 10 years. You have to act that way now as if it's already happening. Number 8, create your vision. The vision is different from the goals. What is the down the line? What do you want this to be in the end? I always say start with the end and then go backwards. So my vision is to have, I have Band Together Foundation, and I want to put, everything's been put on hold because of this COVID thing. But eventually I want to do a huge concert, like a Live Aid concert, bringing bands that have broken up in the past back together again for a concert to raise money for a thing. That's my vision for the whole big thing of Rock Your Life, Band Together. You have to have that, some sort of hope thing, some sort of thing in the future that you want, that you strive for. Oh, and that's it. Oh, I had 8. And there we are. And look at this guy. So this guy is Chris Harrison. Oh, that went fast. I sped through those, but you have them all on recording, so you're going to get to see them again if you forgot what those 8 were and if you weren't writing them down. So anyway, Chris Harrison, I'm 5 minutes behind. That's not so bad. Is my dear, dear friend. He is the host of The Bachelor, as you all know, The Bachelorette, everything that has the word Bachelor in it. He's probably the host of it. So I'm going to get off on my share, and he should be there. I think I saw him.
I'm right here.
There he is. It's amazing. This works.
Technology works.
I know, right? It didn't work for about 2 minutes, Chris. I was freaking out before, but I was like, oh my God.
All good.
I pressed the wrong button, but I did it. So I want both of us on screen. How do we do that, people? Gallery view? No. Speaker view? I just want both of us. Chris, do you know how to do that?
I don't know. I would call one of your 5 kids in and have them do it for you.
Craig, I don't think you can pin both of you on the screen.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's one or the other, but tell everyone to go to speaker view, so when someone's talking, they're automatically on their screen.
Got it. Go to speaker view. It's up in the top right.
It's voice activated, Craig.
Yes, sir, Captain Video. Thank you, Glenn. All right, so I'm actually going to let Chris, because he's much better looking than me, anyway, I'll ask maybe a question and then he could go off. But anyway, Chris, welcome. Chris and I, like I said, he's been a friend of mine for, oh gosh, I don't even know how many years, but we met at a lymphoma walk.
That's right.
Yeah, yes. My wife had lymphoma, Hodgkin's lymphoma, and we did a walk and Chris was there, and we walked like 18 miles together or some ungodly number.
And to bring this full circle, I believe it was Jade Molina that got us on that walk.
That's right, Jade Molina, who will be on here tomorrow talking about health, the thing that I'm so good at. So Chris and I met during this walk, and we have become very good friends, and mainly because also we have golf in common, and our sons, Ryan, my middle son, and his son Joshua are best friends, and they're going to be going to TCU together in the fall. And we just heard today, Chris, TCU has every intention of 100% going
Yeah.
back to school August 24th.
Sounds like common sense is winning over. It's amazing.
I know, right? So let's just share. What are you? So you're not filming right now. If you could just share,
Yeah.
what are you doing these days?
So we finished the last season of The Bachelor with Peter and did a live show. And I, if I remember correctly, it was the 11th or the 12th. And that is the day before the NBA shut down. So our show was on Monday, and I had an event Tuesday with the show. And then that week we were supposed to start shooting The Bachelorette. We have a really quick turnaround from one season to the next this time of year. So Claire was our Bachelorette, and we were getting ready to shoot. We were in pre-production, and that's when the next day, I think that Wednesday, the NBA shut down. The next day, Thursday, we were in principal photography. Friday was our first full day, and then we shut down production, which was the right thing to do, and it was smart. But so we are just in a holding pattern because obviously the studios, all the production, TV, movies, it doesn't matter. Everything is on hold right now. And honestly, we are just waiting to see what the powers that be decide. And as soon as we can get back to work, although we did announce yesterday, we have a plan, and we quickly came up with this. What could we produce? Because clearly there is a lack of content. And what could we produce quickly? And so we have come up with a plan. Even in quarantine, we can go shoot at the mansion because it's a local family that owns it. And we have come up with a military style plan that is very detailed as to who will go in, how you will go in, how you will exit, where you'll park, the whole thing. And we're going to shoot kind of a retrospective greatest hits show. And we can get that on the air quickly until we can go into full production.
So once again, adapting to what's going on, and that's a great idea. But so all right, so you're like one of the busiest people that I know. I used to tour with Guns N' Roses. I used to be on the road all the time, and you're that guy. I mean, you fly everywhere. He flies to Augusta to play a round of golf at the Masters. That's Chris. How are you dealing with? You went from this crazy lifestyle
right to zero.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here in front of my fireplace right now, and I was laughing the other day because in the time we were in the quarantine to now, I would have been in 10 different cities, probably 6 different countries shooting The Bachelorette because we shoot around the world, and we would have just been wrapping up right about now. So normally this time of year I'm gone, and the good thing is, and again, I'm a big believer in happiness. Positivity is a choice. This is a choice in your life. Yes, bad things happen, horrible things happen, but not your attitude. That is your choice. And so I've just kind of taken the silver lining of this. I'm home, I'm cooking dinners, I'm with my kids, and I'm just going to make the best of this. And I'm healthy, I'm out walking. Luckily, we're in California, we can get out, and you just do what you can and spend time with the ones you love and reconnect and spend time on Zoom. And, I'm a firm believer in how you treat things, how you look at things. That is your choice.
My wife and I talk about this all the time. People make choices in life. We make choices in life. And I'm getting a bunch of comments right now. Yes, we have a choice to be positive. We have a choice to make this the best it can be in our little Q&A section. So yeah, people are totally agreeing with that.
And I'm not being naive. I'm not saying terrible things don't happen. This pandemic is terrible and people are dying. I get that. I'm not glossing over that. And really shitty things have happened in my life. And so it's not like I'm happy-go-lucky and smile through, carrying a casket to a gravesite. I get it. Horrible things happen. I've been there too, but it's how you respond to that. I'm not saying you're always just going to have a smile on your face and laugh through it. I think those things kind of get misconstrued sometimes. It's as if you don't care. It's not that you don't care. It's how you take it, how you treat it, and how do you rebound. I think anybody can be happy when you have money in your pocket and everything's fine and the wind at your back. But how do you respond when you get kicked in the stomach? And right now, we all got kicked in the stomach.
Yeah, we did get kicked in the stomach. So, all right. So now, can you just give us because you're so busy and people just want to know the background stuff of, a television star and what do you do during the day? What's your daily routine right now? Knowing that you used to be crazy, but now what's the boring version of Chris Harrison?
You know, I know I've heard a lot of people say it's important to keep a routine, and I agree with that to a certain extent. I have stayed busy, and oddly enough, I get to the end of the day and I'm like, wait, how did this day go by so quickly? Um, Physically, I try to stay fit. If you know, I still do a lot of videos on Cameo. I'm probably doing 14 to 20 just personal videos a day. If you're not familiar with this website Cameo, it's where people can buy videos from celebrities, and it's good wishes, happy birthdays, wedding, whatever it is. So I do a lot of those, knock those out. I'm doing a lot of press because I do have a show on the air right now, Listen to Your Heart. So today I did 2 hours of press announcing our new show, this retrospective look back show, as well as Listen to Your Heart. And then did my cameos, and then just getting outside. And I'm with my kids. I'll cook dinner as soon as I'm done here and spend time with the family.
What are we having?
And, I'm not sure quite yet. My daughter Taylor is making noise in the kitchen right now. Hopefully she's starting it. But I think I think it is important. Early on, I think we all had this insatiable appetite for news. I find that too much information, we're drinking from a fire hydrant. I was in local news in Oklahoma City back in 1995. We actually just celebrated the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. And that was kind of the tipping point of news, where you could get it 24/7, and it really took over our lives. Then, of course, at 9/11 and the OJ trial. And the OJ trial was a big, big tipping point for news. And it was really the death of soap operas, when people realized during the day, I could be watching news. I don't need to watch soap operas. And I think too much information is too much. I think, you know, we are just inundated with now opinions and politics. And so try to stick to some facts, get a daily download wherever you get your news, and then move on and turn it off. It's not going to change.
I have my wife, Natasha, in charge of news because I stay away from it as much as possible. I never watch it. And then she gives me the update at the end of the day, and it depresses the hell out of me. I'm like, this is why I don't watch it. I just don't. I just try. It just brings me down, all the things that are possibly going on in this world. Just absolutely horrible. All right, so let's talk a little bit about golf. You have a passion for golf, and you and I play golf a lot together. He is a better golfer than I am. What did you do in the 6 weeks that you weren't allowed to play golf? Like, did it drive you absolutely crazy like it did me?
No, you know, it's funny. I mean, yes, it's a love of mine. It's a passion, but it's really my escape. It's what I do to, you know, it's my therapy. Instead of paying a therapist, I go play golf. Which probably isn't smart. I should have a therapist instead. It's my escape. I love to get out and walk with you, walk with my friends, hear what's going on in the world. You know, I travel so much, as you mentioned, and I am working a lot, that I don't get a lot of time this time of year to play. And I go months without playing, and I miss it. I miss my friends, and I miss, you know, those group texts of everybody that's out on the course. And so I long for that. And now I'm home. I'm getting to enjoy my friends and family a lot more, and go out and play and walk. And it's just a release. It's a mental release away from the day's news, the day's events, and the stress of my life. And, you know, I think this thing has taught us all, obviously, a lot of, you know, what's important, how we live our lives, where we live our lives. You know, do you want to live in a high-rise condo, or do you want some space now so you can walk down the street? Do we all want to live in New York City? I don't think so anymore. And so, but all those things really are coming into play of how we live our lives. And luckily, you know, my parents never had any money, and they always had this idea of living within our means. And I think that's so important now. And I'm talking to my kids about this with the economics of things, of how do we live our lives? I always want to be able to go upstairs, put my head on my pillow, and go to sleep and not have to worry. And it's not that we all can do that, but I try to live my life in a way within my means that's how I can live, and I can be happy, and I can, you know, I'm not going to have 5 Ferraris and 20 houses, but I can go to bed at night.
You know, Chris, that is actually one of the biggest points, and I'm so glad you hit on that. My wife and I are doing well, pretty successful, but we have, like I said in the beginning of tonight, we have rethunked everything. Now, I know that's not a word, don't get me wrong, but we have rethinked every single thing. It got to the point where on my credit card, and I don't know if you all have this, on my credit card, there are so many $9.99 charges, $12.99, $4.99, that for years I don't even look at. I just pay the bill. Well, we had all this downtime and I started looking at all these and I canceled all these things that I haven't used for years. And we have totally shifted our mindset on houses, space, cars, the material things. And we had a shift with when Natasha got cancer, but this shift is even bigger. And like, I want to have, like you just said, I want to go upstairs into my bed, lay my head down and not have a worry in the world. So we are looking, well, to tell you the truth, we've looked and we found a house in Texas, and we're not moving there yet, but we are setting up shop because California is tough, and that extra 13% or 14% state tax, you know, that's going to go away. And what, gas is at 99 cents now or something in Texas, and it's
well, look, it's going to make us all take stock of our lives. And I think business-wise, it's really important for all of us to take stock of what is your business? What are you doing? There's going to be a ton of businesses that come out of this pandemic that are fantastic. And we're going to look back and go, wow, what a great idea that came out of such a terrible thing. It's made me shift my paradigm. I have worked a lot harder to get different businesses going in this pandemic. So I didn't slow down. Clearly, I'm not going to make the network money that I was making, but my cameos and working harder on my website and creating a show that I think I can do in the pandemic and selling that to the network. So it's not, oh, woe is me, I got kicked in the gut. It's take stock, but what could I do out of this? How could I take advantage of what has turned out to be a bad situation and work from home?
And that's exactly what we were saying in the beginning. So even, you know, a television star, like what he could easily rest on his laurels right now and wait for The Bachelor to come back. But I know for a fact he has a bunch of things going on. Now, Chris, can you share some of the other businesses that you're running and just promote them? And I'll buy some of that rosé, whatever that's called.
Well, I do have a deal with Seagram's Escapes that this was pre-pandemic, and it was a collaboration, and we did a rosé, a tropical rosé with them, and that launched the day of the pandemic. So not the best timing, but it's done very well, and it's in all the Walmarts and Total Wines and all that. But I've continued to push that, and I've just pushed it in a different way of, hey, you're home and alcohol sales are up, and just kind of an escape away from the pandemic and from the news. So, you know, I still try to sell it just in a different way. Again, the cameos are something that I kind of begrudgingly did. Now I really lean into them, and now I'm promoting the fact that I'm doing them, and I am doing more than I ever have. And that's cash flowing now. It's paying. I have an employee that I can now pay out of that, and I still want to take care of her. And so the cameos have been a bigger part of my life. And there is a big hole out there right now with weddings. I'm getting a lot via Cameo of, oh my gosh, I had to cancel my wedding. Well, I'm talking to the network and I'm talking to powers that be. How could I fill that void? Because I can do weddings. I am ordained and people know me as the guy that does weddings, and I do love. So could there be a show where I am reaching out and doing 5 weddings in an hour and we tell these stories? And so that's another project we're working on the side. We'll see what comes of it. But, you know, I'm also working harder on Instagram because I do have followers, and I am very careful about curating those followers and pushing shows that are on the air, but also doing some product endorsement along the way that have been very fruitful and very good.
Yeah. And then you have a restaurant in Dallas, correct?
I do. I have a restaurant in Dallas called Steam Theory Brewing. It is a brew house, and it's a great place just outside of downtown. Trinity Groves, if there's any Texans on here. So it's a great spot. You know, we're down 75, 80%. As you know, we're still doing what everybody's doing. We're selling beer out the back door, and because we can can our beer, and we're doing takeaway food, but it's not what it should be. So we're just trying to keep the doors open. It's an absolute beating. And so, yeah, we're just trying to be creative and find ways to create revenue. And I think that's all you do. You know, I have a theory. When I'm on the road traveling, when I work out. But when I'm on the road, I give myself a break and I say, don't worry about getting more fit. Don't worry about going over the top. Just try and keep an even keel when you're on the road. Try and stay even. Don't try and get fat and out of shape, but don't go crazy because you're on the road. You're going to eat differently. You're going to sleep differently. You're working. So I try to give myself a break. So in this pandemic, I've kind of done the same thing. You're not going to hit a home run right now. Don't worry about hitting a home run. Just try and keep an even keel. So when we're out of this, you're okay. And you're not trying to dig yourself out of a big hole.
Love that. Love that. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're, well, you know, what is it called? The quarantine 15, you know, everyone's gaining weight. Everyone's drinking a lot more.
By the way, the name of my rosé, someone asked, it's called Tropical Rosé.
Tropical
Seagram's,
rosé.
Seagram's Escapes, Tropical Rosé.
And the rosé is playing off of, obviously, the rose.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, it is separate from The Bachelor and separate from that franchise. So I had to be very careful about the intellectual property. I didn't want to, you know, I don't want to mess my bed. That's my home and that's my baby. So I was very careful that while I'm not in conjunction with The Bachelor on this, I did want to make it close enough, but not messing around with that intellectual property. So I have to be very careful when I'm on my own, you know, how I promote things.
Yeah. Don't want to mess with perfection. That show. So
Yeah.
I've been watching the new show. What's it called again?
Listen to Your Heart.
Listen to Your Heart. Oh my, I get mad at the TV. It's so bad. I actually, my sister who's watching Pamela, hi Pam, and her daughters watch this religiously. Natasha watches it religiously. I watch Chris play golf instead. And but I'm so into this new show, and it just drives me freaking. I'm yelling at people. I find I yell at people more on your show than I do at the Kansas City Chiefs, which is just like
That's a lot, saying a lot. Yes, it's a great show. Basically, again, this is something where we took our concept, and I'm a big believer of whether it's social media, whether it's my show, whether it's books I've written, Seagram's Escapes. Stay in my lane, stay in my brand. Know who my demographic is, know who my target audience is, and cater to them. And I try to do things that only extend my brand. And this is another one where, yes, The Bachelor and Bachelorette's my baby. So Listen to Your Heart was just kind of an extension of that. It's, could we take The Bachelor and A Star Is Born and kind of create that Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga connection with sprinkling our fairy dust on it? So, you know, it's one of those things. I love businesses that if it goes great, super. If it fails, no big deal. It doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't taint anything. And I did the same thing when I wrote my book. It's a fictional romance novel called The Perfect Letter. And if that does great, which it did, super. But if that doesn't do well, no one's going to say, oh, Chris wrote a book that wasn't great. He'll never be hired again. So I love businesses that there's only an upside. And I know you can't always do that. And yes, I do risk my own money. Sometimes I risk my own, you know, the situation I'm in. But to a certain degree, I like things that are just an extension of your brand.
I hope you're all listening to this, exactly what he said right there. We teach this all the time. Don't write, like, if you're Chris Harrison and everyone knows you about love and The Bachelor and romance and all that, don't write a book about why trees are green. You know, he wrote a book called, it was a it
was a fictional romance novel.
Fictional romance novel. It aligned with who he was. So it wasn't some shocking surprise that Chris, what is he doing now? Why is he writing a book like that? You know,
and look, every now and then, thanks to ABC, I get to do some off-brand stuff. I did like Nick Walinda's tightrope walk over a volcano. So there's some off-brand stuff, but those are one-offs every now and then. If it's a big brand thing, I try to stay in that lane. Look, like everybody's probably on Instagram. I have Instagram. Unless you're crazy, you need to look at your demographic. Everybody can do this. Go into Instagram and find out what your demographic is. Mine is predominantly women 18 to 49-year-olds. That's who's watching my show. That's who watches me on Instagram. That's who's on Twitter. That's who watches everything that I do. And so, you know, going off and doing a crazy male-driven something, it makes no sense for me. That's not who's buying my products. It is women. Women are driving this. They are the decision makers. And so those are the brands that I'm going to try and hit. It makes sense for me. So know your own brand, know what you're doing, and, you know, try to broaden that, but don't go crazy.
Let's talk a little bit about that Instagram. You have, like you said, you know your analytics, and you're very good at Instagram now, correct?
I do it myself. That's a big question I get is, first of all, do you do your own Instagram? And the answer is yes. And just so everybody knows, I'm on Instagram right now. You lower right, your picture, that kind of puts up your profile. And then up in the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 lines. Press on those 3 lines, and then a bar comes up. 3 down, it says Insights. Press on Insights, and you have 3 categories: content, activity, and audience. And if you press on audience, that tells you the amount of followers you have. It tells you your growth. It tells you the cities that you're most popular in. I'm most popular in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. That makes sense for me because it's TV markets. And then it tells you my age range, 18 to pretty much 54-year-old. And I am, this is crazy, 92% women, 8% men.
Wait, you're
92%.
you're Air Supply.
I am, exactly. You know what? I am Air Supply.
Yeah.
Why do you think Air Supply was on our show?
Yeah.
Why do you think we have the bands that we do? Women watch our show. Yes, there are men. I know there's men that watch my show, and God bless you. I love you. But that's who watches me. And so I'm very cognizant of that. And that's the screen. That's the optics I look everything through. Will women 18 to 49-year-old in these big markets enjoy what I'm doing? And if it's a tropical rosé, yeah, they're going to love my tropical rosé. They're going to love my book. They'll love whatever product I'm selling. That's my lane. I'm going to try and stay in that lane.
I'm looking at your Instagram right now. I've seen it before, obviously, but you have 1.2 million
followers. Yes,
That's
right
like-
now,
that's
if
like,
I was
That's like mini me. 1.2 million.
yeah, we are right now the exact number, because you can find your exact number is, what is it? Oops, went to the wrong thing. But yeah, a little over 1.2 million followers.
Amazing. And you're only following 289 people.
Yeah, I mean, I have the people I kind of have to follow that are on my show, my
Yeah.
personal people, and all that. Honestly, it's not as important who it's your content. It's what you're putting on your stories, and everything I put on Instagram. Look, every now and then, yeah, I know I'll put a little golf thing on there, but it's driven to my audience, my core audience. It's the show, it's brands, it's the picture I want you to see. I have a separate Instagram that's my personal thing. That's my kids and fish that I catch at the lake. Much more golf, and it's much more me. That's not what the audience is going to want to see from me. And so I curate. I'm very careful to curate the image and the brand and the message that I'm sending out via my main Instagram. And
Hey, Chris, you started breaking up there at the end. Are you still there? What was it? Something I said? I don't know if you can hear me, Chris, but if you can hear me, your Wi-Fi did something weird. So come back when you get a chance. I think he's going to come back. Anyway, all these things that he's saying, some questions that were asked, I'll answer them now. Cameo is a thing online, but he has on his website, on his Chris Harrison website, he has a thing that you can sign up for a personal message. So if you want to wish someone a happy birthday, Chris will say something like, "Hey, this is Chris Harrison from The Bachelor, and I just want to wish Rosemary a happy birthday from Steve," and something like that. And there's a fee for that. Cameo is the service that does that, but I think he also does that on his website as well. Oh, I think he's trying to come back.
sorry about that.
There he is.
Sorry. It's fun when all your kids and everyone are home and cramming the internet.
You know, it was this is a great segue into what I wanted to talk about next. I saw your show that you and Lauren have,
Yes.
your weekly show, I think it is, right, on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, so for those that don't know, my girlfriend Lauren Zima works for Entertainment Tonight, and when the pandemic hit, there was this appetite for anything. programming. And so, we were talking, and we really found there was a hole out there, and people weren't really staying home. That's still when people were going out for spring break and still partying. So we thought, we could do some good. We can hit our demographic, keep people at home, raise money for charity. For several weeks, I donated everything I made via Cameo to certain charities. I started calling on celebrity friends to, Brad Paisley, people on my show, to come on and join us. And it was a massive hit. It went really, really well. We have tapered off because now there's a glutton of this programming, and there's so much of it. I think there's too much of it, and it's not really creative or interesting anymore, and people are tired of it. But in the beginning, those first couple of weeks, it was fantastic. And we were able to kind of glom onto that and grab an audience. And again, my clicks went up, viewers went up, Instagram followers went up. And it was just taking advantage of a situation that we saw.
So one of the first episodes, you were trying, the reason why I brought that up is because you were trying to get David Spade on or something.
We did, yeah. And it was a disaster because of my internet.
Right. So we're him and Lauren, Chris and Lauren are like 20 minutes trying to get David, and David's texting like, "I think I'm on. No, I'm not on. I think I'm on." But what came out of that episode is that my kids and I watched Tiger King. Have you?
So good.
Do you watch that show?
Oh, of course I watched it. Yeah, I mean, it's look, people's viewing habits are really interesting too. It's the initial instinct was to watch network TV, and that's not the case anymore. Now people are watching the Netflix and Prime and Hulu and all that stuff. So yeah, Tiger King was huge, and obviously the new Michael Jordan documentary is massive. People want that instant gratification of being able to watch when they want to watch. Now they're not set to their work schedules anymore. So prime time doesn't mean anything anymore. People don't come home and only watch TV from 8 to 11. So it's a very dangerous time for me, actually. It's not a great time to be in network TV.
Oh, I know. But you're. I mean, I don't know how many years you're going to continue to do this, but I think you're going to be fine. I think
we'll be okay.
Yeah. It was interesting. See, this is why I know God loves me, Chris, because of all the years for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, this was the perfect year because there's no sports on TV anymore. I can watch that game over and over and over. I've seen it 25 times.
And you're going to be the Super Bowl champion probably next year too. It's just going to stay because we probably won't have one.
Yes, we are. Don't even say that. Oh, Lord.
I
That would
know.
be horrible. Les Brown's trying to call me right now. Doesn't he know that I'm on a thing? See, Les, stop. I'll call him back. So, Chris, you have. So I was explaining when I was gone, when you were gone, about this Cameo thing. But you
Yes.
have it on your website now, correct?
So I did two things. Again, this is looking at a business and thinking, how could I expand this? So Cameo.com was created. It's an app. You can get it on your phone, Cameo, or you can go on your computer, Cameo.com, and you can order a video from anybody. And the way it works is, as a celebrity, you name your price. So you pick your own price. You could do videos for $10 or $5,000, whatever you want. My decision was there were a bunch of people from my show, from the franchise that were already on. They were charging $50, $75, $100. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go super expensive, well above and beyond that, because it's not so important for me to have that money as much as to be seen as there's a velvet rope up. This is a hard thing to get. If I get something from him, it's special. If I get something from these other cast members, it's not a big deal. And so I set mine at like $400 or $500. I've lowered it in the pandemic because I felt like that was fair and I was doing a charitable component. But it's still, I think, at $375. And that seems to be the sweet spot where I've been doing 15 or 20 of these a day. I did 17 today and I got 4 more I need to do as soon as I get done here. But what I saw was I have to split a little bit of that margin with Cameo. Why can't I just create my own website and do this myself? And so if you go to my website, the official chrisharrisonofficial.com, you can get a video from me. You can order me to host your wedding, whatever, speak at an event. But 100% of those proceeds go to me. I keep it all. So it's just a better business deal. And I still kept my Cameo going. So I do Cameo, but I also do my own.
I just think that's so entrepreneurial. Once again, You're just dealing with the times. Like, you have all this extra time. Take advantage of what you built. And that's what we teach as an entrepreneur. Build something, build a brand, build something that is big. And then you can go off on these little tangents and do these little things that end up being pretty. I mean, if you're doing the math, people, do the math, people. 300, I'll just do 300 times 10, is 3,000. That's a nice little day of work, sitting there at your house and just telling, just doing
Telling Craig happy birthday.
Yeah. Can you do your happy birthday to me right now? It's not my birthday. All right. So,
Sure.
yeah, exactly. When is your birthday, by the way?
July 26th.
Oh, wow. My sister's is July 27th.
Solid Leos.
A couple of Leos. Natasha's a Leo too.
She seems like a Leo.
Yeah.
Positive, likable. You want to be around her. Great energy. Yeah.
Then why did she marry me?
Yeah. We like the opposite.
That's right. Yes. All right. So Chris and I have talked about this, and this, let me clarify for what I'm about to say. This is not for everybody. We're going to make, Chris and I came up with this thing. We came over to my house a couple of weeks ago. We had dinner. It was the first time each of us had seen anybody. We sat far away from each other. The kids were far away from each other, and we had pizza, and we just hung out in the backyard. And I just said, he has what we all want. We all want a fan base. We all want people to like our stuff. So Chris has this thing where he has Instagram, 1.2 million people. And for him to endorse something of a product is way, way out of our ballpark. Not even in our ballpark of what, huge corporations pay him money to endorse stuff. But I said, is there any way that we could do something, not ridiculous, but just still pretty expensive, and this is only for a select few people. There's a lot of people online. There's a lot of people that will see this in a replay, but I guarantee there's people out there that want to take advantage of an opportunity to get out to over 1 million people. So Chris is going to, Chris, can you explain?
Well, here's the thing. This is one of the things I love about Craig, and this is, I urge everybody to do this. If you have great creative people in your life, just start spitballing. Like when I was over there with Craig, we were just having pizza and our kids were together. We had in no way did we go over there to have a business meeting, but we just started spitballing ideas and talking about things we could create. And I love creative people, and Craig's very much one of those, as you guys know. And we just started spitballing ideas. And he's like, you have these followers. And, Craig's like, I have these people that have products and have things and have ideas that they want to get out there. During this pandemic, how could we help? And Craig knows I love to help, and I love to, give people a leg up, because I don't care who you are, how self-made you think you are. There are people in your life that have given you a leg up. If you look around, there are people that want to help you. And so we thought, how could we kind of extend this olive branch and kind of help some of Craig's people, some of the people that are watching now, and get you on my platform of 1.2 million people. And so this is the idea of, during the pandemic, I've been brainstorming, and I've been reading, I've been buying things like crazy. I've been trying the nuttiest things. And I thought, what if I came up with my 5 favorite things, Harrison's Fave 5, and I put those on my Instagram stories. And I did it once a month. I did whatever things I loved twice. And what could a book or a product or an idea or a website, I don't know, it could be anything. And this doesn't have to be within my brand of just female driven things. I thought, how fun would that be? And Craig's like, I got a bunch of people who are entrepreneurs that have ideas. Could we marry these two things? And so that's how this whole crazy idea came to be, over pizza.
Over pizza. So I was thinking, all right, we could, because he has 1.2 million followers on Instagram. People would oh my gosh, I would assume people would give their right arm to get out to 1.2 million people. Now, this is why I say this is not for everybody. If your audience is predominantly 60 to 75-year-old men, this package is not for you. If it's children's books, this package is not for you. But if your audience is,
No, I have a lot of moms out there.
yeah, you got a lot of moms. Right? Oh, that's true. Right. That's true. They could buy the, well, wait a minute. Actually, children's books would be actually.
Yeah, it's right in there. That's right in the wheelhouse.
No, you're right. You're right. Actually, 'cause
Someone just said Oprah did that. Yes, I know Oprah has her favorite things. And so, yeah, I get that. It's not like, this isn't like the brand new light bulb idea. This is just something where Craig and I were having pizza and thought, how could we help and do something cool? So this is just that. I'm not saying we invented, the light bulb
No,
here
no.
or sliced bread.
No. Did we invent sliced bread that night?
Yes,
We might have. I don't
sliced
know.
pizza.
Pizza. So anyway, so what it is Chris will put out an Instagram story, your Instagram story on his 1.2 million. You might explain this better, how this works, because I'm not an Instagram guy. I know you're going to put out a story, and then about a couple of days later in the same week, put it out again. And then
Right.
you're going to do a little personal video for them saying that you're part of my Fave 5 or something.
So what we would do is I would just do my Harrison's Fave 5. I would set it up, and it would be in my Instagram story, and that would stand alone. And then each product or whatever it is, idea, would stand alone. So there would be 5 stories, and your product would just stand alone as its own, like this book or this website or this product, whatever it is. And there would be 5 of them, and then we would put that up, and those only stay up for like 24 hours. And so a couple days later, we would put it back up.
Okay, great.
So it would run twice.
Twice in 1 week, and we would do that. He would do like 5 a month. Is that about right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's an appetite for this. We'll do.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
But I want to make it. I would want to make it special, and I would say you wouldn't want to do too many, and we would keep it special. And I think it would just be a great idea, and we'll see if anybody loves it or feels like it helps. Because I would love to launch something. I know, like when you're writing a book, the hardest thing is getting it in front of people and getting it noticed or getting a product out there, and that's the toughest part. So if I can help shed some light and put something out there and help an entrepreneur, that would be great.
Right.
And yeah, we'll put it up twice, and then we will wait, and then we'll do it again.
So then, on top of that, he'll do like a quick little video saying that, like, Craig Duswalt is part of my 5, and then you could take the video and you could put it out anywhere as well.
Yeah, and I'll send the video to Craig, and Craig will get it to you, that personal video that kind of talks about the product or whatever it is.
Yep. And then to help you with the Instagram story, you have me, the marketing guy, that will help you put together what you should say. And then on top of that, the most important part is when you put this out there on Instagram to 1.2 million.
Well, I'm the one putting it out there.
Yeah. Chris is putting it out. Right. When he puts it out to these 1.2 million people, they're going to have a chance to go to your stuff, and you better have something there that they can click on to either generate a lead, buy the book, sign up for the seminar, whatever it is, and I will help you put that together as well. And on top of that, whatever this is that you create, I will also launch to my database of entrepreneurs that are, I have about 50-something thousand entrepreneurs. So that would also go to my database as well after we're done with the whole Chris Instagram thing. So you're going to get out to a lot of people. And the idea is to capture either the leads that come in, or just think of this as the greatest billboard in Instagram. You know, you want to be in front of, how many opportunities do you get to be in front of? 1.2 million anything. So that's basically what this is. It's the opportunity to get in front of 1.2 million people. And here's the key, though, being basically put out by Chris himself, who his fans are extremely loyal.
That they are. That's the great thing about Bachelor Nation. Is they're a loyal bunch.
Very, very loyal. We went, Chris and I were at TCU, visiting TCU last year, and we went to a football game together, and I toured with Axl Rose, so I know how it is walking in a say Guns N' Roses is playing Shreveport, Louisiana. Well, that day, if Axl and I go shopping in Shreveport, Louisiana, he can't breathe. So at TCU, Chris and I are together numerous times, but you know, if one sorority girl finds out he's on campus, it's I feel like I'm on tour with Guns N' Roses again. The poor guy can't even walk, and so he hides at Chick-fil-A. And then
Well, the funny thing about The Bachelor, and the great thing is, we have the most affluent, educated audience in television, which you may not think with The Bachelor, because you think, oh, it's, you know, this silly little show. But who's watching it are the best and brightest, which I don't know if that says too much for our best and brightest, but that's the case. It is an affluent, educated audience, which is fantastic. So it's a very strong, power buying audience, the decision makers.
That's awesome. So I will, let me just share, how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna share the screen for a second, Chris, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I think I can still hear you, but.
Yes, you can.
Okay, good. So here's what you're gonna receive. So just so you all see it, one Instagram story promoting your product or service personally sent by Chris Harrison to his 1.2 million loyal Instagram followers. A follow-up Instagram story sent out again. A quick personal video from Chris that you are part of his Fave 5. I put for that month, but whatever time period it is. And then I will help you create the effective Instagram post. I will then work with your web designer to create the lead page. So if this thing says, go to this website, then we're gonna send them there. You better have a great lead page to get all the leads. And so they opt in and they either buy your stuff or just love you as a fan as well. And then I'll also promote this, whatever this product or service is, whatever you're promoting there, to my large community of over 50,000. 50,000 pales in comparison to 1.2 million, but even 50,000 is pretty good. So here's the price. If you pay in full, it's $7,500, and or you can make 3 payments of $2,667. So like I said in the beginning, this is not for everybody. This is not a $500 package, a $297 package. This is a package for someone that is ready to take the next step, ready to launch, ready to go for it, because, you know, you just, how many of us are just sick and tired of like, how do I get the word out there? How do I get to these people? Well, one of the answers is hook up with a celebrity. And like I said, he charges a lot more to other things. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just saying, you know, with my show, you have to be careful how we put things.
Right, exactly. I know. Well, yeah, very much.
Not in the biblical sense.
No, I understand that. Let me stop the share. So to get this, I'm gonna. Here's the website address. It's rockstar.craigduswalt.com. So it's rockstar.craigduswalt.com/Harrison, HARRISON, and the /Harrison is very case sensitive. So it has to be all lowercase. So it's rockstar.craigduswalt.com/Harrison. And like I said, this is not for everybody. We understand that. First of all, $7,500 is a lot of money for some people. But if you're a marketer, I mean, if you're a business owner and you're not spending any money on marketing, then you're not going to be successful. You're just not. I have recently, in the last, I'm being totally honest, and I think Chris touched on this before as well. I have spent more money in the last 6 weeks on marketing and advertising than I have in the last 14 years. And I'm not exaggerating, because I've done a whole complete shift on all this online stuff. I've spent a lot of money getting this ready to go. Chris is doing the same thing. I think you said that you're spending money now to like you just said, thing.
Well, just, I mean, just more energy. I mean, look, when things are down, when times are hard, that's when you double down. That's when you work harder, and sometimes that equates to spending a little more money, but not necessarily. It just means more energy and more focus on what you're doing. You're not on cruise control right now. I mean, this thing is a rudderless ship, so you got to get control of it and figure out what you are doing with it. It doesn't mean you need to be out of control right now, and in fact, you need to be more in control as everybody's running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Right, exactly. So part of this thing is you get to like call me and talk with me, asking me questions. How will this work? What kind of stories should I put out? It's almost like a great coaching call you're going to get, which will help you with your product or service as well, because I am pretty good at launching things. I've done it a lot.
We want to make sure it makes sense. We want to make sure it makes sense for everybody. We don't want to just do this.
Great point. We are going to vet you as well. We are not going to just take any product. If this is, lack of a better, if it's offensive or if it doesn't put Chris in a good light or something like that, we are going to vet this. So it's not, if you sign up when you're not 100% guaranteed that we're doing it.
Or we don't think, if it doesn't make sense and we feel like it's not going to help, I don't want to just do this to do it.
That's right.
I just want it to help. And if it makes a difference in somebody's business, that's great. We're all in. So anyway, I appreciate it, my friend. And I appreciate you having me on, man. This is great.
I thank you so much. And I know, even though The Bachelor is not filming right now, I know that you are still busy. So I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day and cooking dinner and all that stuff.
I love that. And I know you told me that you're doing this for free tonight, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And obviously this is what's great is, when life is, throwing lemons at you, you grab a few and make some lemonade. And so I like that, I know you have conferences and people are flying in from out of town. I love that everybody is able to sit home right now and not wear pants and have a drink and watch this. I love that you're doing this. So, God bless everybody. Everybody stay safe, and this too shall pass, and we're going to come out of this the other side, and there's going to be some amazing opportunities that come out of this. Trust me.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Chris, you are a positive light in my life. I love hanging out with you. I love you as a person. And just so you all know exactly what you just saw on screen, he is the exact same person in real life. He's a true gentleman. He's a great person, and he honestly cares about people. He said that to me. He goes, yeah, I'll just come on. Look, we didn't even know until a couple of weeks. He knew he was coming on. We were just going to talk for an hour. This offer thing just came at the last minute. So he was doing this just to share and just out of the goodness of his heart. And that's what I appreciate.
Well, my mom and dad wouldn't have it any other way. They'd kick my butt if it was any other way.
Exactly.
But I love you, brother. God bless everybody, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Love you, buddy. So there you have it, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Harrison from The Bachelor, from his own living room. And just once again, these are the kind of people that I'm going to have this entire weekend. Now, once again, a lot of people, even all the people that I have coming this weekend, a lot of people don't have 1.2 million followers and the loyal part of the followers. So that's why I know it's a little expensive. I get it, $7,500, but he charges way more than that, like ungodly numbers for, endorsements. So this was, honestly, it might not seem like a favor to some of you, like $7,500, that's crazy. Believe me, honestly, this is a huge favor. He has to be careful with his list too. He doesn't want to bombard his list. And the beauty of it is, because it's so selective, and we don't want a lot of people, just like maybe 5 or 10 at the most, because it's so selective, you are going to stand out, as I was one of Chris Harrison's fave 5. Fave 5, yeah, say that 10 times fast. So anyway, it is an opportunity for anyone that wants to jump on it. You have the website to go to. I think Tony put it into the chat somewhere. I just saw it pop up somewhere. And yeah, it's if you want to get your book out to 1.2 million people, if you want to get your event out to 1.2 million people, if you want to get your service out, your product or service out to 1.2 million people, no brainer in my opinion. All right, so what we're doing tomorrow morning, we are having we're going to start out with the Rock Your Life session. Russell Hitchcock, the lead singer of Air Supply, is just going to share what he's doing right now. He puts on concerts like I think he just celebrated his 70th birthday, and they are still touring consistently throughout the year. The man is like unbelievable. and his voice is still as strong as ever. It's amazing. I've seen him in concert. I see them like 2 or 3 times a year. He has become, over the years and way back when, one of my closest friends. He would do anything for me, and I would do anything for him. I am so blessed to have this man in my life. He changed my life, basically. He was the impetus of me getting the job with Air Supply back in 1983. And from then, everything else was a result of that one fateful evening at Westbury Music Fair in Long Island, New York in 1983. So he will be here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 noon East Coast time. And we'll talk about life. And then we have a health session after that, then wealth, and then legacy with Joe Polish. Garrett Gunderson is also tomorrow from Wealth. Jade Molina will be on tomorrow. Jade is my personal health guru. I'm disappointing him every single day, but sooner or later I'm going to get it together. And I do very good for a week, and then I do very good for a week, and then But he's going to put together a plan for us tomorrow, the second session, a daily plan on how for nutrition and exercise as well. So lots of cool things coming tomorrow. This was a great start. Sorry for the little glitch, but I think I figured it out. I know how to have people on. I'm going to try to play a song tomorrow. That'll be a whole new thing.
Craig?
Yeah, once again, thank you all. And there's Tony.
Craig?
Hi, Tony.
Hi, there's one question.
Yep.
People want to know, how long is this deal good for?
1 more minute. I'm joking. It's good the whole weekend. The whole weekend. We want to, I'm not going to talk for Chris. I believe honestly, because of the way I work in my business and I have the plan and I know what fits and what doesn't fit, that you should know right now if you want this or not. If you have to wait, I totally understand that, and you're more than welcome. But I do want it by the end of the weekend, because we don't want this to drag on. This is something that is not going to just drag on. We're going to have Chris Harrison's Fave 5, and we're going to launch it, and it's going to be a quick 1 month thing. So it's not going to be like 3 weeks from now or a month from now where I want to join, and then he's going to do it again. No, we're going to focus on this so that whoever does this is going to get the full bang for their buck. And it'll make you do it quicker, because I want you to make money now. I want you to launch. So trust me, I mean, if nothing else happens, if you make 0 sales out of that 7,500 thing, which I can't imagine that you would, especially if you're smart and trust me on what you should offer when I help you put this together, maybe you won't make, I envision you'll make your 7,500 back. But more importantly, I just think you're gonna, it's what a billboard to go out to 7,500, 1.2 million people will just see your stuff. I mean, oh my gosh, just, there's nothing like it. And there's nothing for $7,500 like that out there. I know for a fact. Tony, were there any other questions I didn't ask you? Maybe? Maybe not.
You answered everything. I gave you the ones in your phone,
Okay.
and you answered those, so we're all good.
Cool. Great. We are great. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Try to be here on time. Russell starts exactly at 9, might be 9:01. But we're going to start exactly at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time. Thank you all for coming, and we will see you tomorrow morning.